kwa sababu we are shortly going to tell him enough is enough.
Given opportunity, Butere girls is going to shock everyone, including William Samoei Ruto.
Inawezekanaje kwamba mwanaharakati wa siasa ndio sasa ni mwalimu mkuu mwenye anaandikia wanafunzi?
I've written plays, I've published plays.
Speaker, the director of education in that county should actually be answerable.
Now guys, William Ruto, the president of the Republic of Kenya, is angry and bitter. After Cleophas Malala kuwa released yesterday, Cleophas Malala made a statement ambayo imemgharimu William Ruto to speak out. Because William Ruto aliamini ya kwamba wakati ambapo alichukua ushukani ya kumweka Cleophas Malala ndani, kuunda hiyo drama pale Butere Girls, then alijua Cleophas Malala atarudi chini baada kuwa arrested, then akawa released. William Ruto alielewa huyu Cleophas Malala atanyenyekea na kurudi chini na kuzima hiyo kitu. But now ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba Cleophas Malala made a statement again after being released, na ilimgadabisha William Samoei Ruto. Sikiza.
Plays that are scripted in this festival, 5 of them managed to come to the nationals. I want to announce here that you'll be seeing some of my plays being performed on that stage, and I will personally ensure that they disseminate the right information.
And William Ruto amejam completely.
Inawezekanaje kwamba mwanaharakati wa siasa ndio sasa ni mwalimu mkuu mwenye anaandikia wanafunzi mambo ambayo yanasema na anatumia wanafunzi kusema mambo ya kisiasa? Jameni, ni kwa sababu hata kama unadharau serikali kiasi gani ama unadharau shule kiasi gani, tunajua ya kwamba wanafunzi wetu wako na walimu, na ingebidi sisi wanasiasa, wale wote ambao wanafanya siasa, tunawaomba muachie walimu wafanye kazi yao. Tuwache kutumia watoto wetu kufanya siasa. Mpaka imefika wakati ambapo mtu mwenye kabisa tunajua ako mrengo fulani ya kisiasa, yeye ndio mwalimu mkuu ya mambo ya kuendeleza siasa kupitia wanafunzi. Ningeomba kwa heshima ya kwamba tutofautishe mambo yetu ya siasa na mambo ya shule. Wacha walimu waangalie content ambayo wanafunza watoto wetu. Walimu wenyewe wanajua boundaries, wanajua jinsi ya kutumia lugha, wanajua jinsi ya kukosoa serikali na society kupitia lugha ambayo itasaidia wanafunzi wetu wajue hizi ni haki za binadamu ambayo inafaa, hivi ndio inji lazima iendeshwe. Lakini pia walimu wanajua mipaka ya kiheshima. Lakini ukiachia Secretary General ya ODM ama Secretary General ya UDA ama mwana siasa wa chama fulani, yeye pia at the same time yeye ni script writer ya kuandikia wanafunzi wetu. Wacha tujiulize kama wa Kenya. Saa hizi Mheshimiwa Omar Hassan akitumwa na chama cha UDA ambayo iko katika serikali, ambiwe yeye ndiye anaandikia wanafunzi wa Mombasa ati script ya kwenda kupeleka national. Wa Kenya wangapi watakasirika tukianza kutumia wanafunzi wetu kuendeleza siasa ya UDA? Hata kama UDA ni chama ambayo iko serikali, itatupatia haibu kama wa Kenya. Vivyo hivyo siasa za upinzani izitumiwe kuendeleza siasa ya watoto wetu. I want that to be, let me say that for avoidance of doubt, that as the security sector, we protect our children and they have a right and freedom of expression. They also have a right to have an environment where there is a holistic teaching, and they can appreciate the society and they can question the wrong things in society. They have a right to even disagree with the government of the day. But there are boundaries that have been set in the education sector. Their teachers know how they can teach. They can use euphemism. They can use, different kinds of language to pass the message on how to criticize government, criticize society, learn about society, appreciate society. But what I request is that we need a clarity of a situation in our country where our political competition is not going to be brought to education arena. I will really request that political party actors do not use our students to become the script writers. I wonder why a politician could be the script writer for students performing. Why can't we allow teachers? Because I don't think, even the competition itself loses value if we don't allow the teachers themselves to be the ones who are writing the script, because part of that is part of learning, so that our students can work with the teachers. The last thing I'd like to say is that let the school do its own job. If other political actors would like to write plays and scripts on societal issues, we have our national theatre and we have other theatres across the country for adults. Let that arena be for adults. Let the school be a place for competition. And as I assure you, that as the security sector, we do not want to interfere with education. And if there was, unfortunately, a situation where tear gas hit a journalist, it is regrettable and we apologize. It is not our intention that we throw tear gas on our journalists. It's our intention to make sure that the journalists operate in an environment of freedom and our students operate in an environment where there is freedom. Asante sana. I would never know about the arrest of any individual. It is the responsibility of National Police Service if there was any offense that was committed, and when someone has been arrested, as has been reported that somebody arrested yesterday, it is by law that they must be produced in court within 24 hours. And if not within 24 hours, if investigation are still on, they must be released on bail or as per the law itself. So we don't intend, we follow the law, and I am confident that the National Police Service will handle any suspect through the proper security channels without breaking the law. Thank you.
Okiya Omtatah is angry, confronting Cleophas Malala. Hey, Wakenya walikuwa wanafikiria kwamba watu kama kina Senator Okiya Omtatah watatetea Cleophas Malala. But now, they are now coming out telling Kenyans kwamba hao watoto wanakuwa misused. Wanakuwa misused aje? Tunataka tusikize. We want us just to listen, but ensure umelike video and don't try to swipe up this video, because hii channel imekuwa tu ikisupportiwa na wewe na imekuwa ikishikiliwa na wewe, so sina budi ila ni kusema thanks so extensive kuendelea kusupport hii channel. Na zile moments tena ndio chukua kulike video, acha Mungu aweze kuonekana, akutetee na kusupport kwa kila kitu ambacho unajaribu kukifanya kwa minajili ya kufanikiwa hapa nchini Kenya. Wale wageni ambao wanatazama kwa mara ya kwanza, please guys, kwa mimi kunjufu and show na subscribe hapo chini ili tuwe familia kubwa tena zaidi. Guys, without wasting time, I want to listen to Okiya Omtatah, kisha tuendelee na mazungumzo zaidi. Sikiza.
Technology, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the excerpts of what is purported to be the drama by Butere Girls, Honorable Speaker, it has nothing close to technology, Honorable Speaker. The chants that you hear the girls, the small girls in school, citing is, at one point you'll hear them say, Kasongo must go. At another point you'll hear them say that we want our rights, Honorable Speaker. While, Honorable Speaker, we condemn, if it did, it's true, that the students were chased out of the compound, Honorable Speaker, if it did, it's true, we condemn such, although that is not really confirmed by the authorities. We also must speak as parents that we are encouraging a rebellious generation, Honorable Speaker, which is not really fair. We are encouraging and growing a younger generation that believes that whatever they say, whether it's wrong, they shouldn't be redirected, Honorable Speaker. And this is very wrong. This play, Honorable Speaker, does not have any rightful word to praise it, Honorable Speaker. What needs to be done, if there was a gap midway, Honorable Speaker, within the structures of education that admitted a play that not realigned itself with the theme of this year, right from a politician, and even to the parents, they need to ask themselves this question: why are you clapping that a politician drafted a script for your student in school? How should you be taking pride and say that there is a politician who actually he said not to have gone to any university? That just because he's creative, his papers are questionable. He is the one that drafts a play, Honorable Speaker, in a national school like Butere Girls. And you as a parent who wants your student to go to school, go through a proper education, Honorable Speaker, and get outside there to be creative. You are clapping and saying, he created a script. If you tell Osoro today, Honorable Speaker, to write a script, I'll write a script that befits my political line of thought. If you tell Malala, Honorable Speaker, or any other person, they'll write a script Based within that line of script, Honorable Speaker, and their line of thought, does it befit or does it go in line with the education standards of this country? It doesn't, Honorable Speaker. As we are speaking to Honorable Speaker, Honorable Malala should actually be charged. It should be, in fact, even if you write a script and it's admitted in school, the process of directing that script, Honorable Speaker, should be left to the person who's gone to school, a teacher with a TSC number, to direct the script that has been written. Not a person with political intent. That on Sunday was talking about that question of Kasongo, and on Tuesday, that play is being pushed by those students, Honorable Speaker, using small children to drive our political agenda. No, that shouldn't be allowed. As we speak today, Honorable Speaker, the director of education in that county should actually be answerable. The sub-county education director should be answerable. The teacher that admitted such, the principal, they should be answerable, Honorable Speaker, because it is wrong by all standards, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Malala called me sometime last week, and he mentioned the issue of that his play had been frustrated, was being frustrated at the national level. And he did that because some time back, I think in 2013 or thereabouts, I did file a petition to demand that the Butere girls be allowed to perform their play, which was called Shackles of Doom, incidentally by the same gentleman, Mr. Malala, and the Honorable Majanja David Shikomera, the late, wrote a very, very, very detailed judgment on the question of freedom of expression, especially artistic expression. So we cannot be brought to a date whereby you can criminalize storytelling or the creative arts or satire. But over and above that, the Ministry of Education has an elaborate structure for filtering plays. And this play was not just sprung onto the national stage. The play started at the school level. The zones, I think, then it comes to the divisions, then it comes to the county, then it goes to the regions, I think it goes to the national. Now, how can it get to the national? Then we begin hearing all these funny things. It is some attempt to play politics, to introduce politics into schools that should be condemned. Because these officers of the Ministry of Education were the very ones who are adjudicating this place right from the grassroots. And none other than the Ministry of Education, where it has been quoted as saying that the ministry has not banned that play. The court examined the play, it found it not subversive, to order that the play be allowed to run. It ordered that the author be free to present his play. And so we get to a situation whereby it's a bit disturbing that some overzealous officers then take upon it themselves to try and ram it the wrong way. Butere Girls is the alma mater of some prominent ladies in this country. And some of those ladies are supposed to have been vexed by the fact that their former schools are being associated with this kind of performance, and that they are behind the overreach by the security forces to try and frustrate the play, even when the Minister for Education has gone on record to say that they did not ban that play. And so I would like to call upon those who are in charge of this country to ensure that we don't lose our focus in terms of what should be done, and the use of excessive force against children is not acceptable. We are a democracy, and the use of non-teaching staff in extracurricular activities like writing and directing plays, like coaching people during football, volleyball, netball games, for coaching kids during music festivals is allowed, because a school is not an island. A school is part of the wider community and it should interact with the wider community. As to say that a politician cannot meddle, yes, Mr. Malala may have been a politician. I've seen some people comment that way. I am also a published playwright, for those who don't know. I could be the topmost playwright living in Kenya today. And I've written plays. I've published plays. My plays are being taught in the Black Drama series in the USA. It doesn't mean that I cannot, that I'm somebody less a human being than who cannot just engage in a school. So you can't say that I cannot go with my vast experience into a school and participate in their drama festivals. So I think as a country, we are dancing down a very, very dangerous slippery slope that is going to attempt and stifle freedom of expression. And above all, after a court has ordered, assuming there was a dispute, the emergency there was none, to just overzealous individuals, assuming there was a dispute, and the court has resolved that dispute by giving specific orders, we cannot afford to defy those orders. If you don't agree with the orders, go back to the court that issued them and demand that they be lifted. Don't try to take the law into your own hands and do whatever you want to do. So, in terms of insubordination that we are also talking about in this particular motion, I feel that this culture of insubordination to legitimate authority needs to be addressed so that we do not end up being our own enemies. We do not end up harming the fabric that holds this country together, and we proceed to encourage the creative arts to help us look at ourselves, understand what exactly we are entitled to as a people. The Echoes of War is a beautiful script whose performance should be allowed to go free of charge, and the arrest of the author and the detention of the author, the former Senator for Kakamega, Mr. Malala, is something that I condemn in the strongest terms possible, and I pray that those who did that be brought to book. And I think this is one thing that will deserve a motion being brought to this House, or a statement being brought to this House, so that we can understand what is happening in Nakuru. We cannot leave it to overzealous individuals, random nationalists, to come and try to tell us the do's or don'ts of the creative arts. We must not get to a place whereby those in power have a reverse Midas touch that...
Senator Umtata,
Yes.
just as a matter of guidance, if you could please follow Standing Order 120, relevance and repetition. The motion at hand, if you could, you've deviated, and I've given you leeway to discuss the matter of that you have entered in, but you're dwelling on it too much. If you could just stick to the relevance of the motion, Senator.
Yes, I'm guided, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm guided by your wisdom. To wind up, I say that I was just going to say, to bring up together an analogy, that the genesis of the dispute in Trans Nzoia was not being addressed. When I looked at the report, The governor had said clearly that he and the deputy had very good working relationships until he learned that the deputy governor had gone to the deputy president and gotten a trip to go to the USA and wanted funding from the county. And as his assistant, I think he should have begun by getting clearance from the governor to do that. And this insubordination was at the root of it. And I noticed that the report